Hollow bones just right, and I love this rainy weather. I wish I could cry the way I see God cry, but Christ, the last time I saw you cry was last Tuesday. And I wasn't sure why the sky just kind of opened up, and I sat there beneath it in a puddle of mud and wondered what I did. And Jesus, the last time I saw you cry was late last night, and I dreamed I had, and I held you against my bosom, and you wept until I was drenched, and I said, God, I'll never do that again, I'm sorry. But the other day I met this girl who talked about love like she actually believed it was real. And this child and I, we shared a brief conversation about a few things that we thought we could feel. Well, I don't mean to shatter your naivety, darling, but you've got so much yet to see, you little girl. But she just shook her head like I was a child. She said, lady, open up your eyes and I'm going to show you the world. I said, people talk a whole lot about having a vice, and I've got 3. That's insecurity, depression, and this growing anxiety. She said, I don't mean to cut you off at the seams or one-up you anything, but I drank too much soda pop as a child and I'm addicted to caffeine. I mean, no, lady, you know that's not what I mean. I mean, at least you maintained your honesty. Little girl, you don't even know what I mean. But the blind were born blind so that one day they could see, and unless you become like a child, unless you become like me, you're holding on to reasons to stay angry. So what did I used to write about in 6th grade when I sat against that fence and watched the world slip away? How me and my imaginary boy sat beneath that weeping willow tree and watched God's teardrops drip from the branches reaching out to me till we were anything but lonely. But I love this rainy weather. It reminds me of being a kid back when I wasn't in such a hurry to love that rainy weather. And it reminds me of being a kid, back when I didn't worry, but I worry more than ever now. And I can't stop pacing these hallways. And my biggest secret is that I have no secrets left, and I'd like at least one to hold on to so that I can still seem sexy and mysterious to you. One second. But I want to get excited about concerts again. Yeah, I want to beg and scrape for the nickels and dimes and tell my mom it'll be just fine. And no, I'm not going to get in the pit when everyone knows I'm going to get in the pit. And no, Mom, there is nothing violent about the chariot. Next to the memory of my favorite swing set as a kid is a ghost of me, staring up at me, wondering what she did. And as the sand filters through her hands, it clumps in the puddle of tears she's sitting in, and she says, we whisper in unison, God, I must have bummed you out again. But I love this rainy weather. It reminds me of so many beautiful memories. And like you said, the times I cry are the times I feel the most. So if I find another secret to hide, you will never know. I want to feel like I can't maintain control, and if I let it all out, I'm going to have to bare my soul. All I want is a hand to hold. No, all I want is for you to heal my dad's back. Why is that so hard for you? I hate this rainy weather. It reminds me of being a kid back when I trusted without question. Now aren't there so many questions? Why are there so many questions? Get out of my head. That one was not mine. That was Rainy Weather by this guy, Christian slam poet. His name is Levi the Poet. And that kind of sees things from more of the fallen side of things, the fallen world point of view. And this one's my own. It's been on my heart for about a month or so now. And it's more from the redeemed side of things. It's called Redemption. I am the light at the end of a cigarette, puffing into darkness, seeping into the abyss, into oblivion, to those ones forgotten. And I am their holes because I am his holes, and I'll dress myself up like all those ghouls, lost souls, ghosts, and werewolves, and I don't want to be afraid. There's an awful lot of gab these days about Halloween, like it's the only place where darkness is, but I want to go where darkness actually exists. I don't want to spend all of my time letting culture dictate what evil is, where it comes from, who it's in, and where it all goes. Because it's all fear. And it's only ever been fear. To them, evil is just a mask on a 10-year-old kid, a projection on a screen, some fangs instead of teeth, and extra hair on my skin. To them, evil is whatever the opposite of their already backwards thinking is, set to a tribal Indian beat in a minor key, with a vocalist screaming, that worships anything but mostly me. And to them, evil is just the concocting of late-night fantasies and sub-realities of the wicked and obscene as it plays through their TV screens. They want to know more about it than they actually want to know about it. And everything that appears evil to them is based off religious decision, never the gospel glory of redemption. And meanwhile, while they're deciding, she's out there dreaming, help me. Help me. Someone please help me. I'm stuck in this rut and this depression, and all I know is how to be lonely, and I don't want to be lonely anymore. I don't want to be lonely anymore, and I'm sick of crying, but why should I live if I don't know what this life is for? These holes in this heart and these cuts on the skin, they really aren't that thin. Someone please come in. Friends, I don't want to be caught dead in religion. And I don't want to stand in my self-righteous pose with my superhero cape and tights worn real close and my nose looking down on all those ghouls, lost souls, ghosts, and werewolves because I think they know. Their appearance is our unholy foe. Their appearance is an ungodly form. So girl, I want you to know that I'm not scared by your holes or your fake witch's nose. I think you're beautiful. And your participation in Halloween is not obscene to me because you've been redeemed. Can't you see you have been loved, cherished, and bought at a price? Here's your receipt. Won't you just take it? And body, if you could see what he sees, I see what he sees. All those masks, tribal songs, and TV shows can all be redeemed. It is in him, through you and me, that they find their true meaning. Will you come redeeming with me? But if you don't yet understand who you are, who they're meant to be, and how his light in us defines the dark, then don't bother going, because it'll only be one of two things: a show or a stumbling block. So I ask you again, will you come redeeming with me? Friends, do you hear that dissonance resolving? Jesus thinks it's so lovely. It's that puffing of the O that just goes and goes and goes and goes around like the little dark engine that could. I'm that light puff. You're that light puff. Let's all puff, 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 puff out, but never up. Thank you.